Good morning everyone, today we're checking out a brand new video from Wombu of the top 5 content warning entities. Now if you don't know about the game content warning, it's like Repo, but instead of going into a place to take stuff, you're going into a place and recording stuff. And the more views you get, the better equipment you can use, sound mics, all that. The best thing to do is to try to be funny both in-game, out of game, and to record the entities. Now then, let's hop in and see which 5 made the list.
Content warning. This video contains a content warning that warns about the contents of video game content warning. Am I giving a content warning about the warning? That's stupid. Why would I do that? Howdy doody everyone, Wombu here. I'm indulging in my hyperfixations once again. Hoo ha, hoo ha. I've been a YouTuber for a long time now, and I needed a way to prove to you guys that I do, in fact, have friends. And yeah, we sometimes game together. It's fun and hilarious and erotic and fun. That's why I've given myself the challenge of releasing 3 videos covering 3 different comedy co-op horror games in the span of 1 month. If you're watching this video well past December of 2025, then I've hopefully released videos on both Repo and Lethal Company. But the subject of this video here is content warning. If you don't know content warnings, they're those things that show up at the beginning of movies or shows or games or videos that warn you about potentially distressing material. And if you're a fucking loser, you're supposed to be really mad at these for no reason. But if you don't know content warning, it's a co-op horror game developed by Landfall, a Swedish dev group that releases all their games on April Fool's Day. This year they teamed up with Aggro Crab to bring us Peak. But last year they brought us content warning. Up to 4 players with video equipment and a big hulking diving bell leave their colorful sky island to sink themselves into the depths of a dangerous and abandoned monochrome ruin known as the Old World, risking life and limb for what exactly? Peep the title. It's because they're warning-brained. Wait, warning? No, the other word. Yeah, content. There we go. It's for content. Come on. In an almost lifelike parallel, for me specifically, the goal of the game is to film the creatures of the old world in the shittiest video quality possible to become famous spooktubers.
Yep. Fuck!
The gameplay necessitates direct engagement with its bizarre crop of freak shows, also known as entities, so they in particular have to strike an exceptional balance between the scary and the charming. So that's what I'm talking about. The 5 entities that to me do it better than the rest. Any rules? I can only think of one. Rule 1, my patrons are the coolest. There's nothing I can do about it, okay? That's the rule. Seriously though,
So technically rule 2 would be, this list is subjective.
Huge thank you to the hundreds of ghosties that make my job possible. Their names will be in the end credits. Link to the Patreon is in the description if you want to join, but you're welcome to hang if you just want to hang.
Support them.
I'm glad you're here regardless.
Give them your money.
With that, it's time to get the film rolling.
Give me your money. Alright, the 5th entity.
Man.
Gundog. Oh crap, that thing's almost a reality.
So if you're new here, hi, I'm Wombu, and this thing is me. In fact, it's my avatar for the rest of this entry. My mother was an M134 machine gun from 1963, and my father was a Cocker Spaniel. As you can see, man's best friend, the dog, has combined itself with man's worst friend, the Second Amendment. Still, someone had to notch a spot on here off raw charisma, okay? It's just the nature of content warning. A lot of the entities in this game make me want to run on site,
what the hell?
But sometimes I just want to hold a mic up to them and ask them about the State of the Union. The problem arises when the dog you're trying to interview is perpetually cocked and ready.
Excuse me, how do you feel about the State of the Union?
A cursed sentence, but an accurate
Shot
one.
me.
The Gundog is a simple beast. Don't let it see you or else you're gonna speedrun the eternal nap time. The devs are being very mean to me and other dog people by making this thing as dangerous as it is. Cause like, I love this guy. He's so silly and fun, and he'll kill without mercy, and his smile is adorable. I see Gundog and I suddenly have to make a really important decision. Say hi to the doggy or live to get shot by a different doggy. Somehow the scales in my mind just never seem to tip.
Damn. Alright, on to the 4th entity.
Matt,
What?
come over here for a sec.
Oh.
It's been a segundo.
Oh! Cataprod!
I'm guessing most of you watching have probably never tased my friend Met before, but you can probably tell from this footage I'm showing that it's very fun. I promise it's worth it, even when karma inevitably swings back around. Let me tell you something though. It's not as fun when we both have a mutual bully.
Streamer? Oh!
Number 4 will shock you. So if we're all spooktubers, what does that make this guy? A Twitch screamer? Sometimes when I'm especially unfunny, it pushes...
I was not expecting that to be an entity that looked and walked exactly like the player. Was not expecting that.
The way those who are closest to me. Like Met, for example. Anyway, viewers, meet you and Conan. Conan, meet the viewers. Technically, his name is not confirmed by the devs, but he literally has voice lines where he straight up says... What's up, Chad? My name's Conan. So, like, that better be his name.
No, we got his
Killing
name,
me and all my friends, I can tolerate. But using an alien...
Oh, it's a recorded name.
Yes, online, unheard of. How dare you? My name is Wombu, by the way. Just felt like reiterating that. You and Conan is very cool thematically. Dude's just messing around in an attempt to entertain an audience, just like you. The difference is he's a streamer, so he's evil and a murderer. That might be too easy of a joke.
And he's live.
Be nice, Wombu. There's plenty of murderers that don't stream. Now, disappointingly, Conan is a little on the simple side. When I saw him using the shock stick, I thought he was going to use Content Warning's other unique items against us. But he doesn't really do anything else. It would have been awesome to see him pull me in with a rescue hook or beat me to death with a party popper. Still, he's a pretty awesome foil / parallel to the players themselves, so I respect it. Game, recognized game, is what I would say, if not for his career choice. Oh, poor Ewan, your job is so hard. You have to entertain a live audience and tase me at the same time. Try writing a script, motherfucker.
Well, on to the third entity.
In my relatively early hours of playing this game, by total happenstance, I encountered a monster that I assumed was pretty rare. And as more time passed without me encountering it again, I couldn't really remember if it was real or if I had dreamt it into existence. I remember the camera was blinking and making really strange noises, and then I saw it. This tall figure with multiple legs and a glowing eye. And then I was dead. I asked some of my other friends if they encountered anything like that before, and none of them had, but one of them had heard about a creature that may or may not exist in the game, known as Flicker. From that point on, I basically became the foreshadowing madman of my friend group.
Oh yeah, Flicker, it's real alright.
So, I guess Flicker takes the bronze medal of entities, okay.
All you need is one good gander. All you see is red, and then it's lights out forever.
I don't know if they believed me, but to be fair, I never tried using that voice on them. Anyway, that experience made me paranoid as shit. If the camera made a weird noise or something, I would freak out, and thankfully my support network would immediately shove me towards imminent danger, as all good friends do. I kinda hoped Flicker wasn't real, because it would be funny if I was just freaking out over nothing, but also if it was real, I would definitely have to put it on this list and spoil its existence to you guys, and that'd be a bummer. Eventually though, I caved. I had to learn the truth of the matter. So I finally looked it up, and it turned out that it wasn't real at all.
Damn it. Oh,
yeah, it was all fake, and this video doesn't even have a number 3 entry. I decided to skip it, so we can move on now.
So, I guess Flicker is real? I can't actually tell. He's just straight skipping it and moving on to the second entity, the silver medal. Okay.
I know I just got done telling a whole ass story, but it's story time again. Have a nice little seat. Get comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
That's a fucking order. I cracked my knuckles. Why did I do that? This one time I was playing with my 2 buddies. We'll call them Panda and Johnny, because
I just realized something. And we could get Mega Wombu now!
That's what they're named. Unpause my video, Johnny. Unpause my goddamn video. Johnny, Panda, and I were exploring the old world one day, but we weren't really finding any entities, so Johnny resorted to just filming me picking up random stuff on the floor. All of a sudden, though, they both yelled and ran away. I looked behind me, but nothing was there. I didn't really think anything of it, though, because this was actually a glitch my friends and I had encountered before, where everyone would see a monster except for one person. Here's this exact thing happening to my buddy Ed.
Oh no! Do you see this man now? You don't see him! He's grabbing you! You don't see him.
That's hilarious!
So on my end, nothing was there, but on their end, I might have been decapitated like 3 times now. Eventually, I caught up with them, but they started to ask these really weird questions. Where's Wombu? Is that him? Are you in there? This was different.
What the
Either
hell?
I was being trolled or something spooky's going on. They couldn't seem to understand me when I told them
Ooh.
it was me, so I tried to move like a player would, spinning and jumping around and all that stuff. Eventually, Panda approached me, but without my doing, my character smacked hers in the
Ooh.
face with his arm. The two of them concluded that I was indeed hostile, and they ran away from me, which is fair. I just
How?
punched the shit out of Panda. I chased after them because I wanted to show them it was me, but as I approached the diving bell, I just straight up died, and so did the other two, but for unrelated reasons. We
What
woke up back in the home world and they
happened?
could understand me again. Panda and Johnny were both like, hey, what the fuck happened to you? And I had no idea what to tell them. We were
What the fuck
able
happened
to
down there?
retrieve the camera from that outing, though, and I was finally able to see what they saw.
Where's Wombu?
Uh,
It's still Wombu.
Wombu
The
is...
fungus. That's right. They were just recording him picking up stuff. And one of the items we saw him pick up was a load of mushrooms. It took him over and made him an entity, but he was still in
Found the
control.
mushroom man.
You got that? No, he's hostile. He's hostile. He's hostile.
Okay, he
He
is
just hurt
hostile.
me. Jump.
Yeah, turns out I was the bad guy in this game, and I had no clue. But now I get to land on one of my own lists, so I
That's
guess it
kinda
works
cool.
out. For real though, this creature is known as a shroomer, and if you're as inclined to pick up everything you find on the floor as I am, then you might find yourself becoming one of them too. And entirely
okay.
depending on the trollishness of the person you're playing with, this could be either the most harmless or most threatening entity in the whole game.
Damn.
In my case, I am only a danger because I like my friends and I want to be near them, even if it engages my automatic violence mode. For most people, this won't be a difficult thing to play
Auto-violence.
around, especially if you know it exists. And while I didn't really want to spoil this either, I'll be damned if the Shroomer and its incidental enabling of PvP didn't make for the most memorable experience I've ever had in a co-op game.
That
Having
is
said that,
great.
Though, we're still left with one. We gotta do honorable mentions first, though. Alexa, play Ghost Groove.
Ghost
Eat
Groove?
shit, Candle Dick.
Oh my god.
Damn, okay.
He's the
Snell
basic
man.
boy, but I like him. First time you see him is kind of scary, but after that he just sort of becomes endearing. Pretty cool
Weeping
weeping
maiden?
angel type monster, and only really a threat if my friends don't know how to read a CAPTCHA. Just hit the I'm not a robot button, please! I
Whisk.
love this guy. He's so silly, and he gets embarrassed if he misses too many
Aww.
times. It's awesome. He would have been number 5 if this game didn't have a dog. The single toughest monster to deal with in the whole
Damn, he is big.
game, capable of killing everyone in seconds. Honestly, he's a little too broken. He's super imposing and powerful, but getting wiped by this thing feels just, I don't know,
Oh.
cheap. Still kinda neat, though. Another
Damn
pretty
creep.
cool and rare
Whoa.
entity, but I've yet to be able to tell a fun story involving this guy, so honorable mention it is. Look, just remember to
Snatcho
bring a
and
flashlight, okay?
Chokelegs?
Oh, there he is. 30%.
Oh! Snatched, okay.
Somehow unrelated to the last guy.
And a Snatchel Love? Okay.
This guy's cool. It takes advantage of the fact that this is a co-op game, so its MO is to kill one guy with one other guy. Plus, he makes for moments like this.
So he is literally there to hit one motherfucker with another motherfucker. Awesome.
And now for number 1.
Alright, the golden medal goes to...
Alright, finally here at the number 1 entry. That means I can finally talk about my favorite entity in the game without doing any more of this dumbass story time bullshit. So this one time I was playing with my buddies Ed and Matt, the same guy I was tasing earlier.
Right,
Once
with the
again,
top
we were
hat.
having a pretty uneventful time in the old world until I end up getting separated from the group because I accidentally fell in a big hole. This is a common
damn.
occurrence for me.
That
So
hurts.
they were like, he'll be fine. He'll find his way back to the diving bell. That's how Ed sounds. I got kind of low on oxygen and ran into a few hiccups, but I did indeed make it back. I waited in the diving bell with the hatch closed so that no monsters could jump me. I hear my
Right.
two friends coming back and everything seems okay, but then I hear a noise.
Wait, what?
It's brief, but it's as if someone turned on a stove or a Bunsen burner or something like that.
Yeah,
I open
something.
the hatch, ready to welcome my friends again, and what do I see? They're both dead, and
Oh.
everything's on fire. Okay, which of you goobers is responsible for this burning hellscape?
The fuck are you looking at?
Fire turtle. Holy crap.
Look, I know. Video
That's
games have got their
awesome.
fair share of fire turtles already. Pokemon has like 2, Zelda kinda has one, World of Warcraft has one, Mario is always beefing with that one guy,
Yeah.
and Content Warning has one. Still,
Oh,
I'll concede, this
awesome.
concept, it's been done. You hear that, loser? This is a totally unoriginal way to kill me. More than any of those
Oh.
comparisons I just made, this to
I
me
mean, still though, you made him first place.
feels like someone looked at the Fury from Metal Gear Solid 3 and said, yeah, we can make an enemy do that. It's not even the most difficult thing to avoid or anything, but encounters with it are straight up cinema at the best of times. And in my experience
glorious.
at least, the best of times has been a fuck ton of times. It shows up and within seconds your surroundings are up in smoke. No wind up, no telegraphs, you were in an empty building, now it's all burning. As you run away,
Everything
everything
burns.
behind you is being quickly enveloped in flames, including maybe some of your friends. And if you're able to distance yourself enough from it to get a good look, what you'll see is a tall, imposing silhouette staring back from the burning wreckage it created.
That
And
is
depending on the number of
awesome.
victims and what valuables they might have been carrying, you may just need to head back in its direction. Look, it was really, really cool turning into a paranoid lunatic or being made into an unknowing mushroom villain, but especially in games like this, time desensitizes you to everything.
Oh, look,
so
it's the
if
streamer
by
guy.
the 5th encounter or so, I'm still just as excited as the first time, you've made an enemy worthy of a Womboy top spot. I
Hell
don't even
yeah.
have a joke or anything. You're just in the melting shithouse now, and it fucking rules. And that was
That is
content
nice.
warning. So overall thoughts. Between this trio of co-op horror games I plan on covering, Content Warning feels like the black sheep in both a good and bad way. On one hand, it's
Oh, yeah?
by far the least polished. It has the most glitches by a mile, win
Oh!
conditions are entirely dependent on whether the monsters in this game even decide to show up. And for a game all about recording content, it's counterintuitively a very tough game to balance audio around. What it gets right though, it excels at. As a content creator myself, I love having such an accessible
Cool.
way for my friends to shine comedically in their own goofy ways.
I firmly believe that
a
hamburgers
bugger.
should not have rights. We eat them too much for them to have rights.
But cows, man.
And when the game
But
actually
cows, man.
decides to throw its own original scary stuff at the player, it's excellent. It's kind of inverse to how I feel about a game like Repo. Whereas that game has a great core with an overall mass selection of enemies, Content Warning is dodgy and kinda jank, but the variety, presentation, and inventiveness
wait,
of its
what the
enemy
hell?
design is top notch. It's a pretty uneven game, with big splashes of brilliance broken up by boring
big
runs
slap.
ending in whimpers. But if
There
you're the
goes Whisk.
forgiving type of gamer especially, I think the old world is definitely worth the occasional dive. Aight, we good? We good. I can't
Yeah,
believe I
that
had to
was
say
nice.
all that just for a measly content warning. Now I can finally do the real video. All elements of the periodic table ranked. What kind of weeaboo motherfucker came up with goddamn manganese?
Manganese? What? Oh, wait, hold on. Is that meant to be manganese? Okay, yeah, no, I get that's the joke and all. That's given, thanks. Alright, everyone, that's going to be the end of today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of you next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.